Hi everyone. Today finds us just off of Route 66, where we're exploring historic Daggett, California, and the Daggett Pioneer Cemetery. The town of Daggett was originally founded in 1860 and was called Calico Junction at the time, a local supply depot for the Calico mines not far away. It was named Daggett in 1883 after Lieutenant Governor of California John Daggett, who held interest in the Calico silver mine. Daggett thrived after the railroad arrived in 1882. Tons of silver ore from the Calico mines came through town daily, along with 20 mule teams transporting borax from Death Valley through nearby Camp Rock. The town boasted 3 saloons, 2 restaurants, 3 hotels, a school, and a lumberyard. Not bad for a sleepy mining town. Nowadays, Daggett is pretty quiet. The Daggett Historical Society has done a great job keeping some of the original buildings standing. This is the Daggett Garage, and it has a pretty cool 150-year history of its own. Originally built in the late 1880s as a train repair shop in Calico, in 1896, blacksmith Seymour Alf moved the entire building through the desert to another spot using a 20-mule team. It stood there for 16 years until 1912, when Seymour's son Walter moved it a second time to this spot to be an auto repair shop. During World War II, it was used as a mess hall for troops guarding the local railroad bridges, and it became an auto repair shop again from 1946 to the mid-80s. And it's still standing today. Across the street, there are some other historic buildings. The Stone Hotel was built before 1883 and was one of 3 hotels in town. It burned down in 1898 and again in 1900. Several famous people stayed here, including botanist John Muir, whose daughter built a house just outside of town. Lawman Wyatt Earp stayed here, and Lieutenant Governor John Daggett himself. But perhaps the most infamous character who stayed here was Death Valley Scotty, a cunning con man who sold hundreds of fake shares of non-existent gold mines to unsuspecting people, and later even conned his wife out of her spousal support. There are lots of legends about Scotty, and he had a permanent room here at the Stone Hotel. Just next door, the Desert Market has been around for a long time. The original wooden building burned to the ground in the early 1900s along with most of the town, but was replaced by this concrete building in 1908. Now, this is called the Ski Lodge building by many for obvious reasons. It was built in the 1920s as a welcome center. Even though it's called the Ski Lodge, it's been just about everything but that, including a cafe, gas station, and a private residence. Remember that building that was moved all over the place before settling here? The man who moved it the first time, Seymour Alf, built this blacksmith shop in 1890, and his son Walter, who moved it the second time, lived here until his death in 1970. You can't come to Daggett without signing in at the Daggett Museum. It's not a big museum, but it has a lot of heart. The museum property sits right next to the Daggett Ditch, an irrigation canal dug around 1900 to bring water from fish ponds near Barstow to Calico. The Van Dyke family finished this section to their ranch in 1901, bringing irrigation water to this otherwise dry part of the Mojave Desert. Outside the museum, there's a great collection of old mining equipment. Contrary to popular belief, this is not a machine gun. It's actually a water jet used for hydraulic mining. Inside the museum, you'll find a collection that is best described as eclectic. Many of the displays are about the colorful history of Daggett, side by side with the nostalgic displays that soak you in the past. Daggett has an amazing amount of history, and these displays are a great way to tell the story. This display, donated by Bill Mann and his wife Dottie, is all about our next stop, the Daggett Pioneer Cemetery. There are more than 300 graves at the Daggett Pioneer Cemetery, ranging in age from 1883 to just a few weeks ago. People take care of the graves here. There are flower arrangements everywhere and lots of signs that people come here to visit. There are lots of old wooden grave markers here that you can barely read, and some that you can't read at all. And of course, you'll find graves that don't have any markers. This is a really cool cemetery. There are old graves right next to modern graves, and really thoughtful family plots like this one. Legible grave markers prove this cemetery has been here at least 140 years. The world's a very different place now, but not so different here at the Daggett Pioneer Cemetery. See you next time.